So we're going to call the meeting to order. We do have another an item that's coming forward from Committee of the Whole, which with regard to a sidewalk consideration to be considered in advance of our a capital budget line item. So we'll put that in between agenda item 3 and 4. Okay, and I would also ask council to consider sending a letter of sympathy to Inverness County with the passing of Warden Cranton, if council is all right with adding that to our agenda as well. Okay, any other additions? Or if you're okay with making a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Motion moved.
Okay.
So, Your Worship, what was the amendment?
2 amendments. One is the sidewalk consideration that you have requested of council to consider. And the second is for council to consider sending a letter to Inverness County Council on our behalf of expressing our condolences at the loss of Warden Cranton.
So, Your Worship, the sidewalk, could that not be included in item number 4, the capital budget? If we're going to, if a motion is going to come before council to approve the budget for 2023, can that not be moved with the amendment to include the additional expenditure of $78,000 for the sidewalk between Pine Ridge and Chevery?
If council prefers to do it that way, or it can be dealt with individually prior to. It's up to council.
I think it's just as well to do it that way, but whatever the rest of council.
Okay,
Through you, Your Worship, I believe that during our Committee of Whole, we said we'd bring it in separate and discuss it.
okay, perfect. We'll do it the way as recommended. Okay, so is there any other questions or comments before we approve the agenda? Councillor McQuarrie?
No, Your Worship, that's fine.
Okay, so Deputy Mayor Aucoin, I think you moved the motion. Do we have a seconder?
Seconded.
Okay, all those in favor for the approval of the agenda with the 2 amendments, indicate by saying
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
aye. Contrary minded? Okay, the agenda is approved. Okay, so sidewalk consideration. So Councillor McQuarrie did provide some preamble at our Committee of the Whole. So if you are prepared, you can make your motion with regard to that item, Councillor McQuarrie.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yes, I would make a motion that we add an additional $78,000 for the installation of a sidewalk from Pine Ridge to Chevery Close to the 2023 capital budget.
Okay, so we need a seconder to be able to have discussion on this motion.
I'll second it, Your Worship.
Okay, so we have a seconder. So we have a motion on the floor for discussion. Councillor McDougall, would you like to start discussion as a seconder?
Well, I guess, Your Worship, I just want to identify the money. Where are we getting the money at? If we can, do we have to make another motion? Do you want me to make a motion to put the tax rate up 10%, 10 cents?
Well, it's certainly an important consideration and part of this discussion with regard to where the money is going to come from. Councillor McQuarrie, did you have any ideas in terms of where that capital funding would come from?
Where it would come from, Your Worship, would be out of reserve, our capital reserve.
Okay. So Councillor McDougall, I guess the idea behind the current motion that sits on the floor is for the $78,000 sidewalk addition to this current capital budget would come from reserve. Okay, Councillor, I guess Councillor McDougall, if you wanted to kind of respond to that or continue your comments.
Yeah, no, thank you, Your Worship. I'm just, I'm a little confused here because we have to make a motion to approve our budget at some point. So
Yes.
we're making a motion this evening to approve our capital budget.
Correct.
And our operational budget we'll be making a motion on that later. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And then we're making a motion somewhere along the line to set our tax rate.
That is
correct?
That is absolutely correct.
So right now, the way that we're looking at things, it looks like to me that we're going to have to, if we don't take any money out of our reserve, which we're already taking 2.9 million or whatever it was,
Yeah.
we're going to have to increase our tax rate somewhere. So that's going to be the motion coming down the line.
Okay, Councillor McIver.
Yes, Your Worship, through you. I don't disagree with Councillor McCrory with sidewalks, and though it was short notice, not much time for council to discuss it. And I did talk to a resident out there about it, and they indicated that they'd rather see more emphasis put on fixing the sidewalks that we have. And also, I think talking with Councillor McCrory was that through the active transportation, if there was an opportunity to connect the whole area with an active transportation lane and maybe see government money, 50-cent dollars or 57-cent dollars or whatever to continue it. I'm having a hard time with round figures of $80,000 for a piece of sidewalk from Pinecrest to Chevery Close, and it's not connected to anything. I think if we were going to do sidewalk, would it be better to start where it's connected to something and bring it in as far as we can? That's just my opinion. And also with Councillor McDougall's remark, we have a very aggressive capital budget, and we've taken a lot of money from our reserve. And if we continue, as he indicated, that there's going to have to be a motion to increase the tax rate in order to continue this. So that's just my opinion, and I'm open to any other suggestions from council.
Okay, thank you, Councillor McIver. Deputy Mayor Coyne.
Thank you, Your Worship. I think my feelings are known already on this topic, and you know, Councillor McIver just brought up a very good point that maybe in the future we can look at connecting that subdivision with an AT trail with government funding along with our own. $2.9 million from reserves is a lot of money. And again, it's just a sidewalk, not to connect anything right now with the current condition of sidewalks in the town of Port Hawkesbury. I think that's, you know, I think that's where our focus should be, is what we have already that needs to be fixed. I don't think there's anybody in this meeting that hasn't heard about the conditions of the current sidewalks. And I think that should be our main focus right now.
Okay. Did you want to respond to any of those comments, Councillor McCrory?
Sorry, Your Worship, I was saying I call for the question.
Okay, the question has been called. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye.
Okay, contrary, nay.
Nay.
Nay. Okay, the motion is defeated. So the next item is on our capital budget. So Aaron, if we could hand things over to you or Terry with regard to the motion for consideration.
Thank you, Your Worship. I can take that. As discussed at the Committee of Whole, the capital plan, as agreed to at the March 2nd capital planning meeting, was presented. So the motion for consideration tonight is that the Town of Port Hawkesbury approves the capital budget valued at $6,983,900 as presented at the March 15th, 2022 Committee of Whole meeting.
I would move.
Second.
Thank you. So we do have a motion on the floor with regard to our capital budget. Is there any discussion with regard to the motion, or if you're prepared, you can call the question?
Question?
Just have one.
Sorry, Deputy Mayor.
Through you, Your Worship, Aaron, can you just confirm the amount of money being taken out of reserves, please?
It's 2.9 million rounded.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, Aaron. Any other comments or questions at this point, or if you're prepared, you can call the question?
Question?
Okay, the question has been called. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Contrary minded? Okay, the motion is approved for the capital budget. Next is ICIP resolution.
Yes, Your Worship. So staff would like council to consider a resolution with respect to our water treatment and distribution project. Aaron has, we've talked about this a number of times through our budget process. Staff would like a resolution just ensuring that we have approval to move forward. So the resolution, proposed resolution for council consideration is that the Town of Port Hawkesbury approve the application through the Investing Canada Infrastructure Program, Green Stream, for water treatment and distribution project at an estimated cost of $3.37 million.
Okay, thank you, Terry. What is the wishes of council?
I would move, Your Worship.
Okay, thank you, Councillor MacIver. Do we have a seconder?
Second.
Okay, any discussion for the motion that's on the floor? Or if you're prepared, go ahead, Deputy Mayor.
Question.
Okay, the question has been called. I apologize for the dog barking. The question has been called. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded?
Aye.
Okay, so all of us are aye. The motion has been approved for the ICIP. I would just ask council to consider a letter that we can move forward to Inverness County Council expressing our condolences on the loss of Warden Laurie Cranton. He certainly was a champion for accessibility. He was well respected for his work in accessibility all across the province from shore to shore to shore. If council would consider that motion, I'm certainly happy to work with staff to create a letter that we can send to express our condolences to a very well respected leader.
Motion moved.
Seconded?
Second, Your Worship.
Thank you. Any discussion on the motion, or if you're prepared, you can call the question.
Question?
The question has been called. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Okay, so we're all A. The motion is approved. And I would ask for a motion of adjournment at this point.
Motion moved.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a seconder?
Second it.
Okay, thank you, Councilor MacIver. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Contrary minded? Okay, the meeting is adjourned. Thanks everyone for your time. And Aaron, I don't know if we, oh, yeah. So Aaron, if you can stay on just for there may be some financial questions, if you don't mind. We'll see if there's any media with some questions. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks so much.